Hello. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tal Sadiq. I'm the interim principal here at Amherst Regional High School. And welcome to Open House 2020 style. So you can see the format is a little bit different, but the intent of the evening is still the same. The main goal of tonight is really for you to hear from your students, your children's teachers about what's going on in the class, hear a little bit about course objectives, how your students are assessed, grading, things of that nature. So first, you're gonna hear from the admin team, and then you're gonna be directed to videos that the teachers have prepared to give you that information. And aside from the obvious reason that we can't have large-scale gatherings at the moment, some of the other reasons why we wanted to format this evening this way is we know that not everyone would be able to make it to open house tonight, even though they really wanted to. Some of you have more than one child at the high school. You wouldn't have to pick and choose which teachers you wanted to go see. So the videos from the teachers will allow you to view them at your own convenience. And so you'll be able to hear a little bit from all of your children's teachers, and even from some of the teachers they may have next semester or next quarter. So, you'll be able to watch some of the video, and then, you can go check on the election results and then come back and watch some more videos. It'll be totally up to you. And speaking of the election, some of you may have heard from your children that yesterday, many of their teachers created space in their classrooms to have a discussion about the election. Hear a little bit about the history, the electoral college process, and give students, space to really talk about it. And for the teachers who weren't fully confident in having those conversations, there were other spaces where students could have those conversations facilitated by an adult. And also our guidance counselors were available all day through the school day for drop-in meetings, and they continue to be available by appointment. And also today, some of your students may have been up on the Common. There was a pro-democracy rally up there. I think I saw maybe 24 students from Amherst High School up there. And many of those students asked about attendance and if it could be excused or not. And so my answer to them, as it is to you, just email your students' teachers and let them know that you knew where they were at, and then we can make sure those absences are excused. And speaking of absences in attendance, excuse me, our attendance policy is similar to what it was last year. A lot of you may have received some robocalls already. If your children are marked absent during their 8-period class, and then you'll receive an email and outreach from their teacher after they've missed have three unexcused absences in a specific class. Then after that, there is a district letter that comes at 6 absences. And when we get to 9, we arrange an attendance meeting. And that meeting is really designed to try to figure out, which ways we can better support your students and your families to have them attend class more regularly. So the 9th and 10th graders will have their attendance meetings with the dean of students and the guidance counselors. The 11th grade, they'll have their attendance meeting with one of the 2 assistant principals, either Ms. Gramaniki or Ms. Camera. And then most of the 12th graders will have an attendance meeting with me. And again, the main goal of that is to figure out how we can best support the students to get to class more regularly. There's a lot of things going on, different people's lives and families, and we don't always have that information. And the more we can communicate and understand some of the challenges that are going on with individuals with distance learning, the better we can help support them through these times. Moving right along, I have an agenda of things that I'm reading from. So also, I got to tell you, if you're a little uncomfortable like talking to an audience that I can't see, so please be patient with me. So something else I wanted to mention was PowerSchool and grades. By this time, your students' grades should be updated in PowerSchool. And if you have any questions, the best way to get those questions addressed is to email the teachers directly. You can also include the guidance counselors in those emails as well. And they'll do a great job of trying to help you figure out, if there's assignments that they thought they handed in and they're not recorded, or if grades are missing, or whatever the issue is, they can help figure out how to best get those issues resolved. Before I hand the mic over, I just wanted to let everybody know about the district's continued work towards creating a more welcoming and anti-racist environment here, even in this virtual learning that we're doing. So the district has really supported the school, the high school, and all the schools in the district, and continuing that work. There's been many workshops over the summer. Many of the teachers, not only from high school but in the district, attended a Dismantling White Supremacy Culture workshop run by Joe Truss. We've also, our keynote speaker at our curriculum day on Tuesday actually, was Dr. Bettina Love. She's been doing a lot of anti-racist work. We're also going to have another speaker, Dr. Guli Muhammad, address our faculty on December 12th. And also, teachers have been allowed to change their professional practice goal to include the work that they've done along the anti-racist initiative, and also to document how that work has appeared in their classrooms. So that's going to be it for me for right now, and I'll talk to you a little bit before you go off to watch the videos. Thank you for being here tonight. Take care.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mickey Gramacki, Assistant Principal, and I just wanted to share with you some information about communication. In this virtual environment, it certainly can feel isolating and lonely, and so we want to work really hard to ensure that when you have questions, or when students have questions and concerns, that they have some idea where they can turn. So a huge thank you to our entire faculty who made the videos this evening. I know on top of everything else they were doing, that was another task, but one that I think everyone will find very meaningful. And it's really important that you feel comfortable contacting your child's teacher or teachers about issues and situations that may come up, or just questions that you have. I know tonight is designed to answer those questions, but certainly you should feel very free to contact the teachers. They've included their contact information on their videos. We also are trying to make sure that our website is as up to date as possible, so that you can utilize that as another way to communicate. So for example, we know that lots of questions have come up about technology. Students have questions about logins, passwords, if they have Chromebook issues. So on the website, thanks to Sam Camera and Ella, they have created a link that's called ARHS Help Desk. And that is pretty prominent on the front page of the ARHS website. At first, there's the home link, the about link, and then the help desk. And I think that families and students will find what they need if they're having technology issues by going to that link. Something else that families, especially new families to the district and families of ninth graders, you might not be aware that you have access to the morning announcements. And I always find that as much as I think I know about the high school, when I read the morning announcements, I always learn something new. So on the website, towards the bottom, there's a link that says Parents and Guardians. If you click that link, you'll see morning announcements. And you can visit that frequently. And it also logs all the previous announcements. And so that's a way that families can really stay up to date with happenings in the high school. Students, of course, have access to those as well. And the last thing I'll leave you with is really encouraging you to get involved with the Parent Guardian organization, or at the very least, please subscribe to their newsletter. Again, if you go to that same Parent Guardian link, the first link is the ARHS PGO. And if you click that link, that will take you to their website. And on the right side of their website, it says subscribe. So tonight, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the ARHS PGO newsletter. That newsletter is published every Friday morning. And I'd like to thank all of the PGO members, including Becky Demling, who put that newsletter together every week. And I think you'll find that it's a great source of information. So again, please never hesitate to contact one of us. And I'm going to turn it over to our interim assistant principal, Sam Camera.
Thanks, Mickey. Hello, everybody. I'm really happy to be here. I just want to start by saying that I'm thankful that we have Ella Stocker, who is moderating this for us behind the scenes. You can't see her, but she is our assistant tech support this year for distance learning. So as the assistant principal for distance learning, I feel really lucky to have her. So I'm thankful for her. You all can thank her in the chat. So I want to talk a little bit about distance learning this year. We decided to improve it significantly from the spring, and we contracted with an organization called GOA. GOA stands for Global Online Academy. It's a nonprofit organization that's comprised of an international consortium of schools. And our faculty took a 5-day-long intensive course just before school opened. And so there are many aspects to that course, and you may see these components as you witness your students' online learning. The first aspect of it is to build trust and relationship with students. So the goal really is to build an online presence and allow for an easy exchange of information between faculty and students, as well as between peers. Building community in an online setting can be really tricky. And so we can do that asynchronously as well as synchronously. Asynchronously through discussion boards and Flipgrid video chats, interactive shared documents, and then synchronously through small group discussions and one-on-one meetings. We've worked really hard to also create spaces for students to have casual conversations with their teachers, but also with each other. We're trying to replace those in-between class chatting times. It's hard to do. And we've discovered, I think, that we may need a little bit more transition between classes in order to do that well. But the good news is our classes are 80 minutes. And so there's a little bit of an opportunity for casual conversation there. The teachers have also made it very clear how to find extra support, how to get help after school through this. So the second aspect of GOA is to provide academic challenge for students, to support agency, as well as encourage students to take initiative. So what's key in those ideas and what's central to those concepts really is giving students choice. And so part of that is we can give them choice, but we have to help them learn to navigate online environments. And so we're building some real independence there. So the other thing that's important in this component is building agency, right? And so giving students an opportunity to really create and not just absorb information. We want them to sort of share and teach material that they've built expertise in, and we want them to really lead the learning and not just be passive absorbers of it. And so it's shifting. It takes a long time to build rapport with students in an online manner. And so my hope is you'll see more and more as the year goes on that your students will be creating, and they'll be creating podcasts and presentations and videos and maybe facilitating discussions on their own. So we're leveraging all types of media, and we really want students to explore lots of different types of media. And my hope is that they can also help each other with that. I do know that the students are digital natives for the most part, and so they've been instrumental in helping faculty out as well, and I really appreciate that. The third and last aspect of GOA is redesigning assessments and reimagining the time that we use. So we're rethinking time on learning a little bit. It's not school versus homework, but it's time on learning. And so that's a little bit tricky. It's hard to shift away from that dichotomy, and we're working really hard on that. The other thing that we're encouraging is more formative assessments that are graded and ungraded that check for understanding, as opposed to large scale, fewer summative assessments that are tests. So the summative assessments that we're hoping that we're hoping teachers and faculty will use should include a little bit of choice. Things like portfolios and exhibitions that display student learning will really allow for more opportunities to publish and share learning with their peers. We don't want students to just submit the end product to their teacher. We want them to learn to publish, and we want that to sort of go further than just the teacher's inbox. This also allows for more opportunity for feedback and improvement during the process. Collaboration and support, as well as reflection, are really important as part of that assessment. And so the last thing is we want to really diversify interactions with students. We want to elevate our students' voices and faces. And so this requires a really careful balance between synchronous and asynchronous learning. So synchronous as well as asynchronous learning needs to be active, right? We don't want our students to be sort of passive receivers of information just coming from a screen. So we really want it to be active. Synchronous learning is really best for connection, answering questions, clarifying questions that students are struggling, if they're struggling to understand a concept in math or science or history or English, all of the above. Synchronous learning is also really good for small group discussions, great for guest speakers. So we've had this new opportunity in this virtual world to bring people in to our community virtually. That's been pretty exciting. It's also really great for student presentations. We use asynchronous learning for deepening understanding and research, but also connection, building discussion boards between peers and students and faculty and students. We use asynchronous learning for research, but also creating exhibitions and portfolios. Asynchronous learning really does give faculty the opportunity to build a lot of choice into the curricula and then scaffold challenge into the curricula as well. So as you can imagine, this has been quite a learning experience for all of us, faculty, administration, and students alike. And the learning curve has been pretty steep. I hope and imagine that as time moves on and as the year moves on, it will become smoother and smoother, and you'll see the progress that we're making towards this idea of creating as opposed to students just absorbing information. So if you have questions about distance learning, please reach out to me. And now that I'm done talking about distance learning, I'm going to pass it on to Victoria Stewart, our athletic director. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Sam. Hi, I'm Victoria Stewart. I'm the athletic director here at the high school and the middle school. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of an update about fall sports. So it's been great to see. I don't know if any of you guys have driven by the high school when practices are going on with all the kids in their masks and all the coaches really excited to coach this season. But it's great. It's a wonderful thing to let the kids go and do other than the great distance learning that we have going on right now. A fun fact, over 40 games have been postponed this year. And that's not because of the fields, it's because of COVID. So it is a fun fact, and I just want to say thank you to all the parents and guardians for being really flexible throughout all these changes, looking on the MIA site, which you can find on our athletic webpage. You just go to the high school webpage, and then you'll see athletics, and you can see all that information there. There's a total of 222 student athletes right now that are enrolled in fall sports, which is great because we have 10 teams practicing in total and 9 teams competing. The one team that is just practicing is football. The rest, they all have competitions. And volleyball, they've been outside, they've been working really hard at it, and then they've been going and competing indoors, but they're having a great time as well. We're about to finish up next week, so we're coming to an end soon, and it's just great to see that they're having so much fun. A little bit about the winter. I know a lot of people are really eager to hear any news. Not much news there right now. As of right now, we won't start any earlier than November 30th. However, it can get pushed back similar to the fall. I knew about the fall 10 days beforehand, so I'm not expecting anything that much different. Modifications, the EA guidelines and such should be coming out either tomorrow or next week. Then the MIA Board of Directors will be looking at those and making modifications to the winter sports that we can have. Once that's all figured out, registration will be open. There's no particular date as of now. However, I will send out a mass email to the community so everyone is aware of that. We have 3 more seasons left. Winter, the floating season, which is where football has been moved to. And then after that, we have the spring season. those are all up in the air. Just hoping for the best and crossing our fingers. That's all I have.
All right, great. Thanks, Victoria. Okay, so I wanted to also mention one thing. So the first quarter is coming to an end. It officially ends next Friday, on November 13th. And so in preparation for that, on Monday and Tuesday, this Monday and Tuesday, from 3 to 6 p.m., we're going to have a material drop-off and distribution. Some of the semester-long classes, like many of the English classes, students will drop off the books that they've already read, and they may be picking up some additional books. And for students who had the quarter classes, a lot of the art classes will be dropping off some of those supplies, and students getting ready for second semester or second quarter art classes will be picking up those supplies as well. So that'll be happening in the gym on Monday and Tuesday from 3 to 6. If those times don't work for your family, please reach out 362-1700. And this information will be sent out to families again on Monday as well. That's similar to the reminder that you got today about the open house. And you can call the number and we can arrange for a different time if those times don't work for you. So I'm not sure if there are any clarifying questions about tonight. I do not see any. If there aren't, then it'll be time for everyone to go and start watching those great videos that your children's teachers have made. Again, you can check out all the teachers' videos from your student schedule currently, or if you want to even look ahead to see what teachers will have either second quarter or second semester, you can do that as well. And again, thank you everybody for coming out and spending some time with us this evening. And you've heard it many times, but if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let us know and we'll do our best to address those. And we need your support and communication now more than ever. We want to make this the best year possible for all of us. All right, thanks again. Take care, everybody.